Okay, now we have, I think it's officially the largest German unicorn, Celonis. And the head of sustainability, Marco Hellwig, is hosting Philipp from Bieberstein. And I think the idea is to use all the great data you generate for sustainability. And I think Philipp is launching, well, we have seen quite a few carbon accounting platforms, but I have to say, maybe the others shouldn't hear it, but our pre-call I like the most because you seem to look at it in a more kind of digital SaaS way and not in a just sustainability way. The stage is yours.
Thank you very much. Thanks, Marco.
Oops.
There you go. Okay. As we say, carbon is not just for accounting. I'll explain a bit why. So I'm Philipp. I'm one of the founders here at Climatiq, and I'm joined by Marco, who runs go-to-market for sustainability at Celonis. I'll talk a little bit about what we do and why we think carbon is not just for accounting, but much more. So I'll tell you a bit more about that in a minute. So I think as investors, you know that you get pitched by these carbon accounting software platforms quite a lot. And there's good reasons for this. Right? So you see some of these abbreviations here on the right. These are all different regulations that are affecting companies worldwide. CSRD, I want to call out, is a European regulation that affects 50,000 companies in Europe and all their suppliers, and they all have to do a report. So these carbon accounting platforms have a place, and I think they add a lot of value as an end-to-end platform as carbon disclosures are moving from voluntary to mandatory platforms. But I would encourage you as investors to think of carbon as more as just reporting. I think this niche focus on reporting misses out on the impact sustainability has, which I think is much broader. We think nowadays that carbon affects much more than just regulation, or the regulation is much more than reporting. We think that carbon and disclosures and carbon regulation affects, or decarbonization, so to speak, all segments in the value chain. Every single office is not just the CFO or the CRS. You can see all these abbreviations, the ERP system, supply chain, finance, HR. Every segment is affected by carbon and carbon emissions for a company. And we're seeing this because if a company has a target to decarbonize, so if they want to say, I want to be carbon neutral by 2040, I cannot do this on a separate platform. Like the supply chain practitioner needs to do this when they make supply chain decisions. That's the same with procurement, with HR. It really affects the whole value chain. And you can see this with what Gartner has published here. You can see all these different segments and software being affected by carbon. So it's not just reporting and, apologies, even I don't know all these abbreviations, but you will see like the CRM systems, the ERP systems are affected, enterprise risk management, compliance, finance, procurement, energy management, transport, shipping, travel, every segment. Why do we know this? Because enterprises, when they buy new software, they're putting this requirement into the RFP. So now we have an RFP or an RFI, and it requires you to kind of have some carbon capability. And what it means is that carbon is really becoming a KPI alongside cost and profit. You will see this, in a way, the way I see about this, you've heard probably a lot about AI. And AI now used to be, 2 years ago or 3, it used to be its own product, and now AI is a capability that is embedded into software. And we think carbon has the same journey ahead. It's a capability that has to be embedded into every software and be a KPI alongside costs and revenue. And the proof is actually in all these industry leaders that are now taking action. You see some of those companies, we just singled out a few that are building all carbon modules or ESG modules as they go. And the ones here on the right are actually customers of ours, and I'll speak about that in a minute, but Celonis, and Marco will talk about this, this process mining. Kinaxis is the leading supply chain management platform, IFS, a big ERP system, and Jedox does financial planning, and more. Everybody is implementing carbon as we speak. So what do we do? Climatiq is an infrastructure provider. So we provide the picks and shovels. We really do the foundation of all of this. We almost exclusively work with software companies. We don't deal with enterprises. We work with software companies as partners, like Celonis, and we power them with carbon calculations. They use our carbon calculation engine to embed carbon emissions into their software, and we accelerate their go-to-market while providing credibility. I singled a few out. So we're actually serving a number of carbon accounting startups and larger companies as well, a lot in supply chain management, ERP, et cetera, and they then serve their end customers, right? So some ERP that's focused on retail will have a different requirement than an ERP that serves automotive, and this infrastructure is quite similar. So we're now powering over 400 million calculations every month through this ERP and serving these customers. I put some of the customers who are serving here. In the middle is Celonis, and Marco can talk a little bit more about what Celonis does in sustainability. Thanks.
Thank you, Philipp. So what is the challenge that our customers are facing today? While they have problems to balance sustainability improvements and at the same time also take a look at business performance. Now, business sustainability improvement will not be mandatory in the next couple of years, but it's a must-have for them. So with Celonis, we want to enable them to combine both worlds by enable our customers to unleash value opportunities in their business processes. And that is possible along the entire supply chain or entire value chain, from supply to distribution to finance and administration, where we have use cases that companies pay invoices twice or they send goods to their customers without billing them. And the same we see for sustainability use cases. Now, what we did, we took the capabilities that Philipp mentioned from Climatiq and enriched our Celonis process intelligence platform with them. Celonis sits on top of transactional systems like SAP, Oracle, ServiceNow, or even homegrown system, and mines the data, visualizing a as-is process model of certain areas like order to cash or procurement. And we don't stop with just analyzing the process. We really enable companies to deliver continuous business performance by, for example, automation solutions or even recommendations, so the right people get the right information at the right time in order to act and bring out inefficiencies in the process. And with that, we, from my point of view, already achieved great results together in the partnership with Climatiq. For example, up InBev, they were able to reduce the truck distance that they travel with their beer trucks by 17%. The ABB Group reduced shipping emissions by 8%. And the team at ThyssenKrupp is projecting 4.5 million kilogram of CO2 emission savings with the power of our solutions. Let me give you a quick partnership overview. So since we are partnering, we developed 2 solutions together. We have more than 20 joint customers. And our key criteria to partner with Climatiq was, on the one hand, the scalability of their solution and the seamless integration into our technology. And on the other hand, their strong data quality and transparency capabilities, which are really crucial for us to serve our enterprise customers. And with that, thank you very much.